Hi there, my name is Stephen, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. Today, we examine one of the most notorious killings in Malaysian history, a story about black magic. In the 1990s, the nation's superstitious and supernatural beliefs were emphasized by fame and power. Today, we highlight Mona Fendi, a disillusioned musician who became a practitioner of witchcraft and turned the darker aspects of these beliefs into a profitable venture. Mazlan Idris, a well-known politician, was brutally and graphically killed by her. On the evening of July 2nd, 1993, Mona, her husband, and their assistant were at Mona's house. They invited Mazlan for a ritual, a flower cleansing ritual. During the ritual, the politician's head was severed off, his skin was removed, and his body was chopped up into 18 pieces. The murder generated a media frenzy. The trio's arrest and trial rocked Malaysia for decades, unintentionally giving Mona Fendi her much needed claim to fame. A police report regarding the disappearance of the Batu Talam State Assemblyman was filed on July 2nd, 1993. Mazlan Idris, a 49-year-old prominent figure, failed to show up for multiple official engagements, so his colleagues decided to report it to the authorities. This news spread quickly in the newspaper. At first, there were no leads in the case, but suspicions increased when it was revealed that 300,000 ringgit had been taken out of Mazlan's bank account 20 days after the missing persons report was submitted. A surprising turn of events would eventually shed light on the politician's whereabouts. The police arrested Jeremy Hassan, then 24 years old, for an unrelated drug offense. He was the helper of the popular shaman couple. After being questioned by the police, Jeremy, most likely high on drugs, confessed to being an accomplice to the murder. He then led the police to an unfinished house in the middle of a plantation. The police started excavating Maslan's body, piece by piece, from Muna's house, in the storeroom under newly sealed concrete. They also found an axe that seemed to have been used to sever Maslan's head from his body, as well as knives that could have been used to skin him. 18 body parts of the former politician were found, but the police did not find them all. Some are still missing today. There is speculation that Mona had eaten them as part of her ritual. The shaman couple was arrested shortly after. Many in the community expressed astonishment, bewilderment, and significant concern after learning of their arrest, wondering what could have motivated the shaman couple to commit such a horrible atrocity. About Mona Fendi. Born on January 1st, 1956, Mona began her career as a singer at a very young age. It was evident that her lifelong dream was to become a famous artist. In order to further her fame, she married Nur Afandi Abdul Rahman, known as Afandi, who promised to support her ambition of being the largest pop star in the nation. In 1987, the pair created and released an album titled Diana under the stage name Mona Fendi. Mona even secured multiple TV appearances, and her song Ratapan Anak is still available for streaming online today. After a few years, it became clear that Mona's musical career was not taking off. Disappointed and frustrated, she gave up. Eventually, the couple decided to pursue something more lucrative and focus on black magic and the occult. This change resulted in them discovering a lucrative venture in which Mona offered her services to prominent members of society who were willing and able to pay large sums of money to ensure their success. She also offered talismans and lucky charms to ambitious high ranking politicians who wanted to secure higher positions in the government by any means possible. Locally referred to as bomos or witch doctors, Mona Fendi was the go to shaman for the wealthy and powerful. Because Mona was a young lady and the majority of Bomos at the time were elderly men, she became well known. The rituals and ceremonies were really a different kind of performance, and the pair flourished in their new job. Their business was so successful that they led lavish lives. This was just another stage for the former pop singer. A rising politician's ambition brought him to the couple in 1993. That would be Datuk Mazlan Idris, a well educated man from the UMNO party. He sought the position of chief minister. It is important to note that the title of Datuk is not given to just anyone. It's given to those who have contributed significantly to society, which is only granted by the Malaysian king or the sultan of the state. What could have motivated such a successful and powerful man to seek such assistance? It is crucial to remember that this was the 1990s. While Islam was the country's predominant religion among Malays, which views black magic as a sin, belief in superstitions and the supernatural was still widely practiced, particularly in the countryside. Mona promised to advance Maslan's political career by providing him a chance to become invincible and rid himself of evil spirits. He would only need to get his hands on certain talismans that were said to have once belonged to the former Indonesian President Sukarno, designed to empower and protect their owners. These talismans are believed to be objects imbued with magical properties. So we're looking at two things: Sukarno's tongkat or staff, and a songko, a traditional hat. The hopeful politician readily agreed to the couple's services and agreed to pay 2.5 million Malaysian ringgit. He gave them 10 land titles as collateral and paid 500,000 ringgit upfront. Around 10 p.m. on July 2nd, the couple invited Mazlan to their home in Rau Pahang. Mona's assistant Juraimi Hassan was there to assist the couple in facilitating the magic ceremony. When Mazlan arrived, he was told to remove his clothes and wear a sarong, a length of fabric traditionally wrapped around the waist. It is worn like a skirt, and lie face up on the floor with his eyes closed. Mazlan was instructed by Mona to wait for money to drop from the skies while the witch placed flowers all over his body, but no money fell over. With his eyes closed, Mazlan was unaware that Juraimi had swung an axe, severing his head from his body. However, the ritual was not completed. After they had finished dismembering and partially skinning what was left of Mazlan's body, Juraimi was given the task of burying the pieces of the former politician in the storeroom close to Mona's house in the plantation. The three were accused with Mazlan's murder in the Robe Magistrates Court. The three pleaded not guilty, and in the months that followed, they were tried by a seven-person jury at the Temerloh High Court under the direction of Judge Dato Mukhtar Siddiq. The prosecution submitted 295 exhibits and called 70 witnesses. The 65-day sensational trial gave Mona the audience she had long desired. She loved the camera and was frequently spotted posing and grinning for the audience. When she was finally ushered into her seat, she would smile and waved to the media as if it were a movie premiere. She delighted in the attention of the press and the entire nation. Escorted by her entourage of police officers, every trip to the courtroom was like a walk on the runway, and she displayed a variety of colorful and expensive outfits. Her strange actions were unlike of any other criminal facing a serious punishment. Instead of hiding her face or avoiding eye contact, she appeared to believe that the trials were similar to TV appearances as a means of gaining popularity. It appears that she has a large following. She told the press that despite the gory nature of this case, she would frequently ask the prison guards to give her a day's newspaper on the way to trial so she could see herself in the headlines. The trial turned into a national circus. During his testimony, Juraimi admitted that he had chopped Mazlan's neck 3 times in order to completely sever the head from the body. The reason for his abrupt confession was also questioned. Was it regret that drove him to disclose Mazlan's murder? Once again, money appeared in the picture. It was a motivating factor. It was revealed that he only received 180 ringgit for performing the dirty work of handling Mazlan's body, while the couple used the entire sum for shopping. According to Afandi's defense, money was also the primary reason for Mazlan's murder. He claimed that Mazlan owed him and linked it to a land title dispute. He claimed that the land deal Mazlan made with him fell through. The chaos continued when it was reported that Mona attempted to sing for the judge and that she claimed to be from the royal family. This added to the confusion because Mona's strange behavior seemed out of the ordinary for a court proceeding. It was also reported that during one of the trials, people fled the courtroom in terror after hearing strange sounds in the courtroom. The accuracy and validity of these incidents may not be fully confirmed because the media was in a frenzy during the entire trial, but these stories demonstrate that the public was more than interested in the trio's fate during the jury's deliberations. After just 70 minutes of deliberations on February 9th, 1995, they unanimously found the couple and the assistant guilty and sentenced them to death. The shaman couple grinned when they learned they had been found guilty. Mona reportedly told the judge, "I am happy and thank you all Malaysians," and was seen grinning as they left the courtroom. They were sent to Kajang prison while they appealed the decision. From February 1995 to October 1997, they filed appeals with the High Court, and the court denied their appeals and maintained the death penalty. Eventually, the 3 prisoners tried to get a pardon from the Patang Pardons Board, which was their final chance at challenging the death sentence, but they were turned down once more. Mona was also suspected of committing at least 5 other murder cases connected to people who vanished, although these cases were never tried in court. On the day before they were hanged, the couple spent their remaining hours counseling their biological and stepchildren to be good and take care of themselves. Just before her execution, the ever-smiling Mona uttered her final words, "Aku takkan mati," which means "I will never die" in Malay. The prison guard who kept an eye on Mona claimed that she was frequently seen praying, kind and friendly, and they even became friends. However, the rumors and fears surrounding the witch and her black magic never went away. At 5:55 a.m. on November 2nd, 2001, Mona Fendi, her husband Afandi, and helper Juraimi were hanged for the murder of Mazlan Idris. Her legacy and the case affected the country's media culture and legal system. The trial's amount of local and international media coverage was amazing, and her story served as the inspiration for movies. A book even described Mona's everyday use of black magic. More significantly, Mona's case may have contributed to the abolition of the jury trial system, which was implemented on January 1st, 1995. The 3 months well reported jury trial was the last to be held in the nation. Malaysia was reminded viscerally of the potential consequences of seeking assistance from shamans. Some say that the popularity of Bomos waned through the years due to this case. Nonetheless, belief in superstition is a strong cultural trait that may never fade away no matter which country it is. Dengarlah duhai ibu